Welcome to Yehewin Yoga. I invite you to find a comfortable standing posture with your feet stacked below your hips or wider. And I just invite you to notice the direction of your toes, if they're straight, or whether if they are slightly pointed outwards, which may be a sign that your hips are a bit tight. So whether your hips are tight or not too tight today, we're going to work through some movement to warm up the body so that we can create space in the hips in particular, but also the body as we lengthen and stretch the muscles. Finding a connection with your breath here. And once you're ready, just widening the stance of your feet and gently swaying back and forth. It can be a big movement or small. And if you like, you can lift your heels, which may help to get more into the hips. This willow tree posture is great for warming up the spine as well as the whole body. Your hands may come up to your shoulders or rib cage if you like. Just working within your own mobility today. Gently coming back to center as you find stillness. If you like, you can have your hands on your hips. Just going to make little circles with your hips. Maybe imagining that you're stirring a pot of soup or whatever you can imagine. It could be big circles or little. And then rotating in the opposite direction. All the while breathing deeply through the nose and exhaling out the nose as well. And finding stillness again. Your toes pointed out slightly as you move through a squat. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, squatting down. Imagining the arms moving like a fountain. Warming up the hips and also the legs as well. And one more inhale up. Bring your feet together, and then just finding the top of your mat. We're going to move through some sun salutations. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, diving down. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, down, making your way to either a plank or tabletop. Coming down to your tummy for a baby cobra a few times. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Just noticing as you move through this that your hands are framing your body, arms are bent. Inhale, pressing up towards your downward dog. So if you like, you can pedal out your feet, checking in with your legs. You'll be shaking your head yes and no, if that's comfortable. And stepping or hopping up towards your hands. Inhale for a half lift, exhale down. The next inhale coming to stand. Exhale, arms down. Preparing for another round of sun salutation. Inhale up, and exhale diving down. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale, making your way gently to your stomach for more rounds of cobra. Inhale each time as you peel up, and exhale as you come down. Maybe your legs are zipped together behind you for support. Inhale, making your way to your downward dog again. Finding either movement or stillness. And again, coming towards the top of your mat. Inhale for half lifts. Exhale to fold. And inhale to stand. Exhale, arms down. And again, we'll go through sun salutation. Exhale to dive down. Inhale for a half lifts. Exhale, making your way again to the stomach. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Inhale. Exhale down. On your next inhale, coming up again to your downward dog. This time we're going to inhale the left leg up, then kicking that left leg back to open up that hip if that's comfortable. If you like, you can rotate that ankle. Then stepping that left leg in between your hands and having the right leg bent and the knee on the ground. Finding a low lunge here. So the front knee is just stacked over the ankle. And exhale, just straighten that leg. And then finding movements to warm up the legs here. Each time as you inhale, coming to the low lunge, and exhale for that hamstring stretch. Your toes can be curled or pointed. Maybe holding that hamstring stretch for a moment, noticing how the legs are connected to the hips. And coming to a tabletop. And when you're ready, coming back into your downward dog, I'm just going to switch sides. So inhale the right leg up this time. If you like to open up that hip, just kicking the foot back a little bit, rotating that ankle, and breathing. Inhale, stepping that foot in between your hands. The back knee is to the ground. You can always have a blanket or a rolled mat under your knee if that's more comfortable. And again, finding movement here as we exhale, hamstring stretch. Inhale to a low lunge. Flowing through this with your own pace of breath. Just checking in with how this side feels compared to the other. Just observing. Maybe holding that hamstring stretch as you continue to breathe. Finding length in your spine. This time we're going to come back to a tabletop. And then just taking a child's pose to rest. So if you like, you can have your knees together or to the sides of the mat. Your head can come either to the floor or to a block. And breathing as you stretch the arms. And inhale, coming back to a tabletop. And making your way to a downward dog. And coming to a forward fold at the top of the mats. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, coming up to stand. Again, we're going to go through a sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, diving down. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale to fold. Making your way again to your stomach. Inhale, coming up. You can either continue with that baby cobra. If you like, you can lift your thighs for upward facing dog. And then just gently looking over each shoulder. Back to center. Coming back to the floor. As you inhale, making your way to a downward dog. Inhale the left leg up into the air. Then as you inhale again, bring that leg in between your hands. And if you like, you can come to a high lunge. Or you can always keep that knee on the ground if you prefer. Hands can be up in the air or down by your sides. Inhale, straighten. Exhale to bend. Finding movements in this crescent lunge. So open up that hip. And holding that crescent lunge. And exhale the arms to the floor. And it's going to switch sides this time. So back to downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. On your next inhale, bringing it in between your hands. And rising up to your crescent lunge on this side. Making sure that your knee doesn't go in front of your ankle. And again, as you straighten that leg, inhale, and each exhale to bend down. Finding movement on this side to warm up that hip. If you like, you can hold it before coming down. This time we're going to step both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale to fold, and inhale again to rise to stand. Taking a moment here before we go through another sun salutation. Next exhale, diving down. Inhale for a half lift. Exhale down, making your way to your stomachs. You can take your baby cobra or an upward facing dog as you lift your thighs off the ground. And exhale back to the ground, making your way to a downward dog. This time we're going to go through a pigeon pose. So this time we're going to inhale the left leg, stepping the leg so the shin is parallel to the top of the mat. Shifting your hips so that you're comfortable here. You can always place a block underneath your sits bone. Just going to find some movement here to find your edge as you exhale, diving down. Inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, using your arms as support. So you can find your edge here, finding some stillness as you hold a posture in this pigeon pose. So you can either stay up with the arms straight, or you can have bringing your chest a bit further closer to the ground. Working within your own mobility here. Each day is going to be different. Just breathing, accepting where you're at in this moment. And inhale, pressing up. It's going to bend that back leg, then reaching for the toes or the ankles with the same side of the arm. So your right arm holding the right leg. So see how this feels in your hips and also your quads. If there's any pain in your knee though, of course, coming out of the posture. Inhale, making your way to a tabletop. And stepping back into your downward dog. It's going to switch sides. So inhale the right leg, then bring that right shin so it's parallel to the top of the mat. Adjusting your hips so that you're comfortable. Flexing that foot. And diving up and down to find some movements. Just acknowledging where your edge is in this pigeon pose before holding it for a few breaths. Using your arms as supports. This posture is also nice with the resting your block or resting your forehead on a block if you like. Just breathing and checking in with how your hips are feeling on each side. Inhale up, then taking that quad stretch. So same arm comes to that bent knee. And finding a connection to your breath. Letting that leg gently come to the floor. Coming back into your downward dog. And this time it's going to meet your hands towards your feet this time. Then inhale to rise. Taking a moment to stand, shaking out your legs. You're going to be moving to sit on the floor. So we create a lot of heat in the body. Now we're going to use that heat to get into a bit deeper stretches here. So it's going to take a butterfly posture, soles of the feet together. And if you like, you can bend forwards. Your feet can always be either closer to your body or further away, whichever is most comfortable. Connecting with that breath again. As you inhale, coming back to sit. This time we're just going to stack the shins. So whichever side you like. So having one shin over top of the other, foot over top of knee, knee above the other foot. If you like, you can bend forwards if that's comfortable. Just checking in with how this feels in your hips. Flexing both feet here. Inhale to rise. I'm just going to switch which foot is stacked on top. Finding length in your spine here. Then only bending forwards if that's comfortable. And only to a point that you feel a stretch, a sensation of a stretch. Acknowledging your body and respecting the signals that it sends you. Keeping you safe in all these different postures. Inhale back to rise. I'm just going to take a seated twist here. So if you'd like, you can have both legs bent. You can always do this with a straight leg on the ground. Hugging with your opposite arm on that bent knee, then twisting towards the side that has the bent leg for your seated twist. So often if we have tight hips, you might notice that you also have some low back pain as well. So twists are a great way to relieve that tension that may be in your back. Just going to switch sides, crossing the leg over top of the other, hugging the arm with the opposite knee. And as you inhale, finding length in that spine. And as you exhale, finding a twist. Just noticing how this side feels compared to the other. Each exhale to twist further. Each inhale to lengthen the spine. This time we're just going to come, making our way to lay down on our backs. So you can gently coming down, protecting your core. Bending your knees. And if you like, you can hug your knees towards your chest. Maybe making circles on your back to release any tension in your back. Rotating that circle. Maybe noticing that this also helps to relieve tension in your hips as well. Just going to bring our feet again to the floor. Inhale for a bridge pose, hips up in the air. And exhale the hips back down to the ground. Inhale, raising the hips. And again, just finding movement here. So this posture is quite strengthening for the hips. We've done a lot of stretching and also strengthening today. Exhale, letting the hips rest on the ground. Just going to take a happy baby posture. So just holding on to the outsides of your feet. You can also hold on to your thighs, shins, or your ankles. finding stillness if you like, or you can always rock back and forth if you prefer. Noticing how this posture feels in your hips here. It's quite a deep hip opener. Exhale. It's going to final resting posture. So if you like a nice hip opening, final resting is having the soles of the feet together, kind of like that butterfly posture. So if that's comfortable, you can hold this, or you can find any other resting posture. Thanking yourself for this moment, this practice, to take care of your physical body, but also knowing that this is really great for your mental health and emotional well-being as well, relieving stress that might be being stored in your hips or your body. You can either continue to rest here, or whenever you're ready, gently waking up your body and rolling over to one side, using your arm as a pillow. Again, thanking yourself for practicing some self-care today. And gently pressing yourself up to sit. If you like, you can take a hero posture, sitting on the backs of your feet. Maybe toes are curled or pointed, or even sitting on a block if you like. Knowing that you can always take these postures and that breath with you to find a sense of ease and comfort. Take care.